What is up, YouTube? It's Kingfisher745, and this is going to be a new episode of Team Spotlight. This week we're doing a subscriber suggestion, and the suggested team was to use Phoenix and Angel together. So we named the team Rise from Your Grave, and we also used a pretty special item set to go along with this theme. First, we're using the Borrow Guard, and that has 13th Charm, which revives the agent with 25% health, and debuffs are removed when KO'd. This weapon also has Fortitude, which gives us resistance to being knocked out by damage over time effects, and it will restore health when you attack with this weapon. Unfortunately, it needs reforged really badly. Next, we have the Plasma Beam Handgun, and this was given out for the Marvel Avengers Alliance 1-year anniversary. It has something called Self-Sacrifice, so Agent will protect allies that have low health, and after protecting allies gains Heroic Revival. Heroic Revival will heal allies, so I wanted to use that with this team. And these last two items were originally weapons that I was going to use with this setup, but I ended up changing my mind and going with two different weapons instead. I felt like I could use two different weapons to do more damage, and also to help out with Angel, since he does give a number of Finest Hour buffs, and that will go a long way towards helping you gain Blessing of Heroes, and also in making your Ionic Sledge hit really hard. On top of that, we still have a Protect weapon, and the Blade of the Guardian and the Ionic Sledge both regenerate health. The Ionic Sledge by attacking, and the Blade by giving Blessing of Heroes. So our setup for this theme team is basically the fact that Phoenix can resurrect someone, so can Angel with his level 9 ability, and we also have the Borrow Guard, which will also resurrect our agent. Then we have a number of ways to heal. We can heal through Angel, through the Blessing of Heroes, the Ionic Sledge, and the Borrow Guard's attack. So this team should be pretty hard to kill in combat. That being said, it isn't too impressive against the computer. It does its job, but you don't see too many of those resurrects kicking in, because the computer just isn't able to do enough damage. So what we're going to do is just do this one quick battle against the computer, and then we're going to get into some pretty lengthy PvP battles. I think the first battle was pretty interesting in PvP, but the second battle is what you're really going to want to see. It was against a pretty tough opponent that has a really interesting PvP setup. And I have to warn you now, that battle is going to take quite a while to finish, so it's going to take up the majority of the video. But that's kind of what a team like this is built to do. It's built to last, and it's certainly capable of outlasting pretty much any opponent. And although we're going with the theme for our weapon setup, if you tweaked it just a little bit, this team could be pretty viable. But personally, I prefer fast win teams. Anyways, this is the first PvP battle, and we are facing the Juggernaut and Emma Frost. Unfortunately, in this one, we're using the Scrapper outfit, and we come up against a pretty tough bruiser, so that should add some difficulty to this battle. Later we decide we should be using the bruiser armor ourselves, and that's because we'll have even more survivability. Then, to be honest, you could use the Tactician Phoenix if you had her with the bruiser. That way she'll protect you from people like this that have a blaster outfit. So that's just one suggestion. Early in the battle you want to use Blade of the Guardian and hopefully get counterattacks to gain a number of Finest Hour buffs. Angel will also help with this when it's his turn. We're also going to use Mind Link on our agent, and he already has Blade of the Guardian, so he does protect. This is going to give him Focused, which will help towards Blessing of Heroes, as well as Finest Hour. Next, with Phoenix, we're going to go ahead and use Telekinesis and try to stun their agent. It hits him for quite a bit of damage, but it does not stun him. So now we're going to use Rapture on the agent. And now, since our agent's health is so low, we're going to use Angel's level 9 ability to heal him back up, and this will also put Guardian Angel on my agent. If the opponent does manage to knock him out, you'll see what happens whenever he has all those revival buffs on him. Yes, the abilities do overlap, but they also provide a pretty nice benefit, and we're about to see it kick in right here. So there you go, you see some of our heals come back, then 13th Charm, and all of a sudden he's back up to almost full power after resurrecting 3 times. Now with White Crown Phoenix, we can use Phoenix Fire and gain another Death and Rebirth. So after my agent counterattacks with Blade of the Guardian, we're going to use the Finest Hour buffs from Ionic Sledge to do quite a bit of damage to their agent, We're also going to heal from using it. And there you see we're able to take their agent out, and we gain a little over 3,000 health back, and every little bit counts. We also get a second turn, and that's because of Angel's Rapture ability. So we could use Ionic Sledge again, but instead we're going to use Blade of the Guardian and gain another buff. So we got strengthened that time. Emma Frost is going to use Mental Trauma, and then it's going to be Phoenix's turn to cast Phoenix Fire. And Phoenix Fire is a really great ability, as we all know. It's going to apply Soul Fire and remove all their buffs as well. It didn't do that much damage, but at least we put Soul Fire on, removed their buffs, and gained Death and Rebirth once again. And now she gets her second attack, so we're going to use Psy Blast on Emma Frost. Unfortunately, Angel has to pass his turn due to Hold the Line. Next, we fully expect Juggernaut to attack our agent. And this is where Angel's Essence reading kicks in, so he generalizes Juggernaut, which is amazing. In fact, that may have saved my agent, and we get a follow-up counterattack. So now it's going to be my agent's turn, and he has Blessing of Heroes. So he gains health back, and then we're going to go ahead and get a guaranteed critical hit with the Ionic Sledge. We decide to use it on Emma, so it doesn't do too much damage, but we do gain health and stamina back. Now on Emma Frost's turn, she's probably going to use Mental Trauma once again, but at least she takes some Soulfire damage. Then it's going to be Phoenix and Angel's turn, so hopefully we can take one of their characters out. We're going to start by using Psy Blast on the Juggernaut. Next we're going to use Rapture from Angel. That once again will set up our team to gain extra attacks. And we attacked Emma this time, that way we can trigger Organic Recovery. Then we're going to try something different. We're going to try Aspersio. So we're going to hit both of their characters and gain Divine Inspiration and Blessing. Now let's see what Juggernaut does this turn. He gains Cosmic Power, and he has Surge of Sidorak, so this could be a pretty big hit. He almost takes our agent down. Hopefully we will counterattack, and we do with the Blade of the Guardian. It does very little damage, but we're definitely going to use the Ionic Sledge, and that should do enough to take down Emma Frost. So let's finish her off before her next turn. And that does massive damage to Emma. On our agent's second turn, we're going to use Ionic Sledge on the Juggernaut, and this should be enough to finish him off as well. You also see that we're gaining more health, and that was another thing I wanted to check with Angel's level 6 ability. It looks like it does increase the health gained from Blessing of Heroes. Now this is going to be the last battle of the video, and it is a very lengthy one. But I think it's quite interesting, and it's against a pretty tough opponent, especially with my weapon setup. And it looks like we still didn't switch over to the Bruiser outfit, but it actually worked out in this battle somewhat, because they have two Infiltrators. But they do have Satana and World War Hulk, and that's going to be really tough to face. They also have a Protect Agent, and he definitely has Sinister Scepter as well. And he also has the Sorceress Scepter because he's casting Legion Below. The good news, and the reason why I really didn't like this weapon, is it won't hit my flyers. But he is going to counterattack with that and the Blade of the Guardian. And then he also has the Nanite Inductive Nail Gun, so that's going to be a lot of counterattacks. So right now it looks like it's going to be really hard for my team to hurt their agent. We kind of were hoping for Phoenix's P5 ability to kick in, and that could make all the difference. But let's go ahead and use Absolution to gain some buffs, and then we're going to have to wait for their agent to take his turn. He's probably going to use the Sinister Scepter, and then that's going to be really hard to damage their team, because he'll be protecting and he'll be in astral form. We're pretty lucky that he's not doing even more damage on these counterattacks to Angel. But that nail gun is going to keep that shield up on him, it looks like, the entire battle. Now, just like I figured, he went into astral form. Phoenix can hurt him in there, and also if the P5 ability procs, we will be able to hit him then, but that's not something you can really rely on. So now that it's Phoenix's turn, we do see our other problem, and that's the fact that she is a tactician, and they're running double Infiltrator. We use Mind Link mainly to gain focused, and now we're going to target World War Hulk. One of the main reasons is we want to put Migraine on him and hopefully lessen his damage. Now let's see what their Satana and then Hulk does. And Satana, I noticed, summons that Guardian a lot, but this time it does huge damage to my agent. Right now this battle isn't looking too good. I noticed that the AI Hulk does use Thunderclap quite a bit, so I'm expecting that to be used. And our Angel does go ahead and generalize him, but that doesn't really matter in this battle. He hits us with Thunderclap, and then we're going to gain health back from 13th Charm as well as Death and Rebirth. On our Agent's turn, we check to see if we have the P5 ability, and we unfortunately did not get it. So we're going to have to pass our turns, because we don't want to give their Agent a ton of counterattacks for no reason, because he is in astral form right now. We're hoping that he comes out of it, but he may not. We'll see. Nope, he uses the Sorcerer Scepter, so he stays in astral form, and that's pretty bad news for us. The best thing is Phoenix is going to get 2 turns, and first she gets to use Phoenix Fire. So let's see how much damage we can do. This is not the White Crown version, so we only get 1 Death and Rebirth. For a second attack, we're going to go ahead and use Psy Blast on Hulk, and we're going to hope we can take him low enough so that Soulfire will finish him off. We really can't afford to give him another attack, so cross your fingers that this one works. It looks like it's going to do enough. And it does take him below 3,000, and I believe Soulfire will finish him. First, it's going to be Satana's turn, so let's see what ability she uses. She takes 4,000 damage from Soulfire, so that's a good sign. And she summons that Guardian once again, so like I was saying, it seems like the AI uses that a lot. Now on Hulk's turn, I'm fully expecting him to be knocked out. And he is. The only problem is, on our Agent's turn, we're going to get 2 attacks, and we once again did not get the P5 ability. So instead of getting 2 attacks, we're just going to have to recharge both. And that's really unfortunate. We could have done some major damage, if only their Agent wasn't in astral form. On Angel's turn, we can't really use Rapture because it's too risky. They'll probably counterattack with Sorcerer Scepter and then kill my Agent. So instead we have to use the level 9 to heal him, and place Guardian Angel on my Agent. Finally, their Agent has come out of astral form. They used Blade of the Guardian on Phoenix. Phoenix, of course, can attack anyone with Psy Blast, and she doesn't have to worry about a counterattack. So we're going to hit Satana. That's going to take her down to 8,000 health, and then the Soulfire takes half of that, so she's close. Now that's going to be my Agent's turn. We have a pretty tough decision. Do we want to try to attack their Agent and get counterattacked a bunch of times, or should we recharge once again? And against our better judgment, we do decide to attack. So we're going to use the Blade of the Guardian and try to get Blessing of Heroes. Of course their Agent will protect it, and now we have to see how many counterattacks he does. But we do get our follow-up attack from being a scrapper, and that's one of the reasons why we decided to attack in the first place. By the way, now that the nail gun is back, I remember how much I hated that weapon. You may want to equip a weapon that bypasses shield in the coming season. On Angel's turn, we could use this level 2, but that will be protected against, and then we'll be facing a number of counterattacks. And at this point in the battle, I found it kind of odd that the P5 did not proc. I don't think it procced a single time for any of my teammates, and that really could have made a huge difference. But we do go back to his level 2 and we use it, and then we're going to get counterattacked a number of times, but maybe Angel will avoid most of it. He will avoid the Sorcerer Scepter because he is a flyer. Our Agent didn't, but he does gain health back from Guardian Angel. Now let's see what other counterattacks we face. So there's Blade of the Guardian, and it does decent damage. Then luckily we evade some of his Brawl counterattack. Now we're going to go ahead and use his level 6 Aspersio, and it should take out Satana. Now only their Agent remains, and he's probably going to counterattack us again. First with the nail gun, and then he's going to do his Infiltrator counterattack. Angel survives it though, thanks to his techno-organic wings. Now at this point we pretty much have this battle, and that's because no matter what, Phoenix should be able to finish him off. But regardless, he doesn't have enough to take out our Agent. We pretty much use Mind Link due to habit, and then we're going to Psy Blast our Agent. Let's see how much damage Phoenix does. So she does 6,466 and leaves him with just 623. So my Agent will get to finish this battle. And that's going to be the end of the episode. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I have some pretty interesting updates coming up that I'm going to talk to you about in the next video. But that's going to be it for this one. I want to thank you for watching and ask you to please like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more videos.